Today is the 12th of October, 2023. We are back here again. This is Assembly on PentTV, your number one Christian television station. So we are still moving on today. So excited to be here. Thursday is today, and we have a lot to talk about this morning. So let me say a very hello and good morning to Nana Ama Amamfoa Amamu. Yeah, who happens to be living around Ajin Kotoku area. Yes, you have a good one. Nana Ama Amamfoa Amamu. Combining Dinibumusa. So have a blessed morning. And we are happy to be here once again. Thank you for waiting for us as well. So we want to continue with our discussion. This morning's program is heavily produced and sponsored by produced by me, sponsored by Dr. Anake Jesse Company Limited. A lot of sponsors anyway. Dr. Anake Jesse Company Limited. Papa Ekoba Simprimo Nana Mo Nana Piao. We have 42 branches across Ghana, and so when it comes to your construction materials, yes, we are your friend. Oba Enchan Ebitimi Abwao. Yeah, no, only indigenous do webinar at Shokakra. Na enema nkuya. We show forth as good friends. Ye tiene say, ye be mau enema so na odi ye adwuma kakra no. Na sikade be mu a na obetua eka. The payment plan is very flexible. 50 if you like 42 branches across Ghana there. Every angle be no obenya space so area ko. Na anopai mu so no ye catch us say eba no materials papa on say kaftans no ekoyi pa papa because material there and na what the pam ade na ma na ye fe me guest so yi ni de china go say eni edika nti kaftan there o share per material papa na fa pam na etime kama ba na materials are kama na nicer the cow fabrics omo na eni mo omo de number 1 o nyasem kuma a whole house fabrics in kwa nti your Swiss linen na your types for all occasions. If say a funeral there obenya bi honom say outdoor and say engagement be say a wedding crowd the tradition just a type be up materials papa any daw trousers one ne suit materials ni nyina no betimi abuy nchen woni cow ewo enkran hansonic every dance ma junction from Carnation to Odoko uremo honoma sharp curve mu honoma wo de echo mataheko uremo hono obo say ne cow house or hobra ne beto ne mane bi na ebe bo no so efo eda form friend 0579 70 91 13 o friend na so betime ka 0579 70 91 13 ebe bo na etimi yakọ Assemblies Enterprise so eso ye ni asan yi papa na fe Topax almost so no ama design materials no akoto awi a opese o shatare na live bem no apam fine na etimi so e de aboa enti enne no me guest na mahwe ni mu ache banyame adom wa belande e wo ha me wo Dr. Joshua OPPONG-SARFO, and he has actually written a lot of books. Actually, I was very impressed when I had the opportunity of going through some of the things, the works he's done so far. He's written extensively on a lot of topics. So one of the areas the media and national development, the role that the media is supposed to play in national development. So the media and national development. As we speak, when we talk about the media, you help us. This is the business we are doing now. How do we also contribute? The last time we've been looking at how the church will do 8-bit. Yesterday, we're trying to look at mobilizing the youth for national development. And we are also, this time around, looking at us and trying to find out what role can the media also do in national transformation? Are we only there to create chaos or to do what? What's our responsibility as far as nation building is concerned? And my guest is here, Dr. Joshua OPPONG-SARFO. He's the author. I've already told you. He's written extensively on a lot of topics, produced so much, and he's also the leader for the New African Concept. He joined us, I think, about a month ago, and thank God he's here today to continue with us the conversation we left off the last time. So, Doc,
boss,
salute. A very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, I can understand. The kind of hassle you went through before, getting in there.
Yeah, I think it's all part of it.
The most important thing is that you are here.
At long last.
You are on time too.
Exactly.
And so that's beautiful. But the lesson is that this time around Accra, wherever you want to travel or move to, you better set off early. Otherwise, it was special. All right, so good to see you once again. But just news because of Akosombo dams now, or more a big Accra because in so volumes now spillage. Would see the kind of near my ACO baby and soon for anointing. In fact, just before I came on there, now they were even saying, "Oh, sure, once I quite a flower over crosses so Gako Pensuno and down. Just a bridge, the way and so now rising, just a kakakrabi kranenya bridge, so I be cover. A quite manful fee be brave. We'll find time and talk about this issue because they are very important. But if you are watching us, we want to say, our hearts are with you. We are praying with you as well. Those of you who have your houses submerged, or if you check around, the Yakrani, Bina Juma or Volta Lake, aquaculture farming, just say almost sorry, I'm not paying money in none containers, everything is gone. And you can imagine this day and age where Sikasem where Dina or investment because I am say a challenge I had Kakra until we are not betum Kakra. Now then we can come to our
yeah, obviously. Just as you rightly said, the Anubatum, it is quite unfortunate. It's a disaster, but I'm sure that as we engage in a conversation, we'll touch on it. In one way or the other. But for now, what I'll say is that all those who have been affected, we are hoping and praying that things will be repaired and then they can get back on track.
So we are looking at the media and national development.
Yeah. So
you've also done a lot of work on it. I can see a book you've written on the role of the media, the power and the force of the fourth estate, but mobilizing for holistic national transformation.
Yeah.
Why should the media be the focus?
All right. So the media plays a very vital role. But even before maybe we come to the role, I think that I started off with chapter 1 by setting the tone, and then I ran that through almost a good number of the other volumes. Yeah, because before you will appreciate that you have a role to play, then you must first understand why we have the issue we have, and then you can appreciate that, then it is not just maybe media or maybe church or this, and so maybe I'll throw a bit of light on the why, and now we can move into the roles. So the conclusion, for that I made a lot of discussion in volume 2, which is the diagnosis. Yes, that is what addresses it, but just to tease it up, that the reason why, I think the other time when I came, I made a mention that when you are dealing with a democratic setting, there is a portfolio which is higher or stronger than the president, and that is the people. And that is what even starts the narrative of our constitution, that we, the people of Ghana, we. There's not I, the president, but we. So many or oftentimes our discussion has been, we almost have everything in Ghana. We have natural resources, all what is left is leadership. If we can get sound leadership, everything is going to, go well. And there are phrases, I think I had a bit of discourse with Prof. Stephen Ade, who is normally quoted as saying that leadership is the cause, all things are effects. Now, in a democratic setting, I gave a counter perspective that no, leadership is an effect of a fundamental cause. So it means that, and my hope through these narratives is that the average citizen will come to appreciate that, we are rather delegating to the leaders. So in as much as leadership drives, gives vision, and then it gives a sense of catalyst to drive it.
Somebody must empower you.
Somebody must empower. So we are the king makers. We don't make the king, and then we cry foul. And then when it is time to make another king, we choose wrongly, and then we cry foul.
Come back to cry.
No, then we don't have any moral right to do that, unless the person came through maybe the gun. And then that one, we don't have any issue or any say of that. So to understand it, it means that it is the quality of our values as a people that drives national development in a I'm insisting on democratic setting, because in a totalitarian or maybe
it doesn't work
that
like
one is quite different, or a monarchical state. So having understood that, then we then realize that it is about time that we mobilize every single institution, every single force with each designated role, and then so nations are built by the cumulative impact or effect of the various institutions at work. Now we want to throw a laser specifically on that of the media.
So we look at the media.
Yes. The media, as the narrative goes, sometimes it is called the fourth estate. We know that we have the legislature, we have the judiciary, we have the executive. So it is almost like an unwritten code that it becomes the fourth estate of the whole architecture. So it plays vital role in shaping the minds of the people. That is where we have the emphasis of the media. In summary, before maybe we look at the specific details, in summary, the media plays a vital role in shaping the minds of the people and then engaging them in the day-to-day process of nation building. That is what, shall I say, in summary. So we have the print media, we have the digital media, that's the social media, we have the traditional media, like there's the TV station, and then that of the radio stations, and then all that. But when you put everything together, the cumulative impact or goal of the media is in shaping the minds of the citizenry and then engaging them or pulling them to be engaged in the day-to-day running of the nation. So it means that it plays a vital role in nation building.
So let's get into
some of the specifics.
Specifics in the media architecture. Okay. Now, if you look at what's happening by structure, you realize that we have, when it comes to Ghana, for instance, content regulation comes from the National Media Commission. And then by equipment and transmission level comes from the National Communications Authority.
Yeah.
So I am looking at two components working here. The human resource within the media setting. And then, if you like, the equipment, or for that matter, the transmitting models or the puzzles that will communicate using the human resource in making sure that the right thing goes up.
Yeah.
So what sort of interest must we have? Let's look at it. The human resource within the media architecture.
Okay.
As a nation and as a people.
Yeah.
What sort of interest and push must we give to the human resource who are operating within this fourth realm architecture?
Yeah.
Talking about.
I think that's a very great question. So first on the human resource. Now, I think I'll be linking it to some of the specifics as we go along. So one of the specific roles of the media has to do with equipping, or as it were, promoting social cohesion and national identity. Social cohesion and national identity. So when we come to the personnel, the media personnel or the human resources within the architecture of the media, they must be conscious of the fact that this media is a vehicle or a tool to promote social cohesion and national identity. And what I mean by that is, when we say we are in technicality, we are a country, but not a nation. We are not yet a nation. Sometimes we use it interchangeably, a country, the nation. But in reality, what makes a nation is one people, one language, one vision. And the language here is not necessarily dialect. It is to speak the same voice or the same language, national agenda. So Ghana is yet to be a nation. We can qualify as a country. That is, at least we have the barriers, the
jurisdiction.
Yes, the jurisdiction. We have the staffs. We go for elections. We have the president. So we have the characteristics of a country, but we are not yet a nation because we are not one people. We are divisive at heart. On the external, it looks like, oh, okay, we are singing the national anthem and all that. But when you go at the deeper side, we have not yet been free from the pains of tribalism and then partisanship. And in some places in Africa, even religious tension. At least for Ghana, it is not so much. But places like Sierra Leone and then Nigeria, you will have it there. So maybe from here, I'll focus more on the partisan and then the tribal division. And it has become a strong or a deep fissure, or a fissure, or more or less like a division that on the external it looks like everything is all right, but when we get in there, we have issues with it. I am expecting that the personnel, the human resources that we are producing should be conscious of this, that every platform is an opportunity, and then all the programs, when you bring everything together, ultimately we must be drifting towards becoming truly a nation. That is one people. We have our local dialects and then all that, but we can say that we are one people. And then what defines that one people is that whatever we are doing, ultimately we are looking out for the interest of the nation, rather than my tribal interest or rather than my partisan interest. And these fissures that I'm talking about is very terrible. I've had conversations with even professors, and you'll be surprised the logical conclusion that they draw. You'll be expecting that, being a professor, at least you should be able to analyze situations
and live about certain.
It is serious. It is serious.
So our work should be driving towards building a national cohesion.
National cohesion.
Yeah, but within the same circle of media practice,
yes,
that is where we have the various editorial policies. And editorial policies on issues might be different from one particular media house to the other. How do we work around that, by and large, or irrespective of the various editorial policies, national cohesion becomes a standard?
So it should be kept above. As you are saying, there are editorial policies per each media house, and then even their focus, and then all that. So when we are, one Professor Hegel gives his dialectical theorem as thesis, antithesis, and then synthesis. That is, you give a point, the other person gives a counterpoint to it, and then it becomes like a healthy debate. And that is also another role of the media.
We'll get to that.
Yes. So it is through those discourse. So as we have various editorial policies, maybe operational standards, listen, at the end of the day, it should be injected that we should ask ourselves, anything. What do we seek to achieve? And that question must guide our narrative. If we do that, there are some programs that will not find its way even onto the media waves in the first place. And even the programs that are there will take a serious reconstruction and then architecture, or adjustment. Because now the ultimate question is that, what do we seek to achieve? And we must be clear to ourselves that ultimately we want to drive the nation forward. So Ghana, or the nation, must become the first on our minds. In our policy drawing, in our standardization, and in all, it must be kept as a mother umbrella that undergirds our philosophies, our programs, and then so every program that we are rolling out, ultimately we should be concerned about how does this contribute to nation building. And we must be able to make sound argument to defend it, and how it runs must also prove that indeed this and this and this is drawing towards this. So then, of course, and then those differentials are very much important.
Yeah, but yes, others have also said that if you really want to deconstruct it and look at the angle, it presents a case where, because you are working for people, like you said.
Yeah.
It's about people and trusting. So even sitting here, it's not for nothing.
Yeah.
Because some people will not have the opportunity of telling or voicing out.
That's
the more reason why we are here as media practitioners. So we'll be speaking what they want us to speak.
Yes.
So is it also possible that we'll always design our programming, our discussion towards what the people want to hear? And again, the fact that the people want to hear something may not necessarily bring benefit to the totality of what we want to achieve.
Yeah.
At that point,
I fully agree with you, and we must strike a balance. Because definitely the media is also, there is that commercial commodity to it, and so with that we are looking at people who are following. So the balance then becomes: are we to give the people what they need to hear, or we are to give them what they want to hear? And there must be that balance. In building a nation, especially, let's be specific with Ghana.
Yeah.
Yes, in Ghana's situation, we need more of what the people need to hear, much more than what the people want to hear. The reason is that at where we are, the people's mind must undergo, we really need a serious reorientation. If we just focus only on, or much more on, what they want to hear. What do we want to hear? Games, jokes. Of course, one of the elements of the roles is to also to entertain the people. But in a nation like this, a developing nation, statistically, entertainment should take between 7 to 10% of the whole national attention. Yes. That is, we are building, that is not to, I'm not casting aspersions on entertainment. Of course, volume 11 is the role of creative art and entertainment in nation building. So it can, there are whole lots, I mean, tourism, music, the movies.
You have not discounted that, so let's move on.
So the point here is that, but as we are building entertainment, I mean, and I've given those detailed statistics from learned, I mean, practitioners, that it should take maximum 10% of the national attention. There may be certain countries that have, in quote, arrived. They can entertain themselves to the tune of 50%.
To play games and rest.
Yes,
that's
I mean,
fine.
yes. But we are now catching up.
Oh, but people are also saying that when you are under pressure the most, you need some entertainment to ease you.
It is called escapism. Escapism is the phenomenon where
temporal.
You jettison or you put aside the main thing, and then you want to, so you are escaping the main thing, and then so maybe there is death of a loved one, and then they may proper. Why the psyche is that I want to take it up. It does not deal with the pain.
The real issue.
Yes, and that is what we do in most cases, especially on social media, TikTok, and then all that. Majority of the youth. What they are doing is an escapist mentality or approach, because for us, many people have agreed to themselves that there is nothing good that can come out of Ghana. It is not possible that things will change. So either the person travels outside, and until the person gets the opportunity to travel outside, then it is an escapist route. And when you get there, you see comments like, I mean, TikTok is being better than the university. Ghana, they don't hear a data. So that you can laugh your way out of the problem.
But it doesn't solve the reality. It does not solve the problem. It's not solved.
So, I mean, one of the roles of the media is to entertain. But when entertainment in Ghana and then Nigeria or Africa takes almost about 80, I mean, almost about 80 to 85% of national attention.
So let's look at look at ideal situation. So entertainment should be given 20%.
I mean,
that is whatever we. I mean, that's an average.
Yes. Okay, sure. Yes.
And then the rest for what?
Yeah. So, so the rest we should be talking about. As I said, in our context, specifically Ghana, we should be emphasizing on national identity, national and social cohesion. So just as their fathers had the American dream, we must define ourselves. What should be the Ghanaian dream? And these are the discussions that should be dominating the airwaves to give, new levels of perspectives. And that is the burden that we carry, like maybe some of these discussions, that what is the problem, like volume 2, as I said, the diagnosis. What is really wrong with Ghana and Africa? That with all our PhDs, our professors, these are the discussions that we should be having. So the 80% is on national consciousness or activity that will drive the awakening of the national consciousness of every citizen to be involved in the machinery of nation building. Democracy, unfortunately, you see, the Western, world will pat us at our back that, we are faring well democratically. And then what are the parameters of, consideration? We had peaceful elections. That is, even if we should be called peaceful, at least relatively, we must, agree that Ghana, we have gone ahead
so
a bit.
Far. We have not had any military intervention.
Yes, for the Fourth Republic. And then that is, I think we've captured about 30 years, and it's quite appreciable. So we are talking of peaceful elections, and then we are talking of maybe peaceful transition, that is if maybe from one government to the other. And most often when the Westerners or the Western mind or talks to us or pat us at our back or congratulate us that we are growing democratically, the emphasis is much more on peaceful election and then peaceful transition of power. But there is much more to democracy. So election is just a little component of the democratic process. Much more, we go back to sleep. No. The average citizen must be involved in the day-to-day running
of the nation.
And that is the strength of democracy. But that comes when it also falls back to the analysis that I'm giving, that as long as we begin to think that it is about the leaders, it will seem to the citizenry that our divine or pristine duty is just to vote.
That's all.
We elect them and then now let them do the magic to take the nation there. But when we flip the dial, then we understand that no, we are the custodians of the nation. We have committed, we have delegated certain powers to them. We must be on their toes. And then we ourselves, we must also be doing things that will drive the nation forward. We realize that, wow, we then become, and that is another place of the media, to serve as a bridge between the leaders and then the citizenry. So the 80% that you are asking, it is in summary, it is to be geared towards awakening, national awakening of the consciousness of every citizen. And then we have several activities that is rebuilding our value systems. Having conversations around the very reason why, the root cause of our problems that have become protracted, and then all that. And these are the things that the media houses should drive so that it dominates the airwaves.
But in a developing country like ours, they are saying that good story don't sell.
Exactly.
Unless the bad ones. So that means if you really want to champion this cause as you are proposing, I bet you can check the numbers if you want to.
Yes.
Whereas if you want to zoom into partisan politics and bring certain individuals come and insult people, you find the numbers. In such an environment, how do you expect the media to play?
Very well. There is a process of change. It goes through 5 levels. The first level is just like maybe the message that we carry. It is unpopular. It is not just as you said. When you veer off into nudity, partisan discussions, the numbers will be huge. You talk about these things, you even post on it. You just post on it. Now, when you have an information like we have, you push. Because it is relatively new to the soil, the reception will be challenging. Numbers and then all that. Now, the secret is, if you back off, you lose it. Every new thing goes through those 5, or any new philosophy or ideology goes through that. So first you push it. When you bring it, there'll be different reactions. There will be a minority who will respond to it or will resonate with it, and then there will be the masses who will throw it off, and then others will even go wildly to attack it, because what we are talking about is going to liberate the minds of the people. So we should expect that counter attack, because every old system favors some people, and the people that it favors, when they see that this information is going to liberate these minds,
they won't give in easily.
They wouldn't give in easily. So there will be that attack. Now, when that attack comes, at that season, it moves to the level 2. So level 1, you keep on. There is power in consistency. So you keep on hitting.
Okay.
Very few people are aware of it or seem to like it. Don't give up. Every new ideology goes through that same cycle. Keep on hitting. Now people will be attacking it.
And just to bring you back a little, like you were saying, you know, when we started, like you say, be a station, somebody are sorry for but now I tell you, the numbers and the home that watch our television.
Exactly.
You'll be surprised.
Exactly.
Because they themselves can go and compare that, as for this television station and the rest, there are differences. So I can buy it, but it takes time.
Of course, it takes time.
It takes time.
It takes time. It takes time.
Okay.
And then when it comes to these things, if your approach is with a quick fix, it will not solve it. Because the decay we are talking about has been deeply entrenched in the minds. It's been years, centuries. So you don't just, expect an overnight thing. That is why the goal of nation building should not be just scouting for a messianic leader.
Okay, so but we'll get to that. But so the process.
So
pushing one.
Yeah, so you bring forth your conversation. It is unpopular, and then you don't give up. You keep hitting. Now it is then attacked. Yes, people are attacking it. What is this? What is this? Now unconsciously, the attack increases the inquisitiveness of people to try and then look out.
Just a little bit investigation. Let's find out.
Yes.
What are they up to?
Yes. What is this? What is this? What is this? So now, the second level is the response by way of the attackers. By attacking it, they also create people's attention that what is it that these guys are attacking? Let us go and check out on them. And then it will then be increasing pace. Then now, as it increases pace, people, maybe radio stations, TV stations, and anything, okay, let us give them opportunity. Let us hear them. That is level 3. Now, let us hear them. So by the time the attackers are drawing attention unconsciously to, they are drawing the minds of the people to this new thing by attacking them. Yes. Now, people will be opening up their platforms gradually that let us hear your story. I say, yeah, bro, okay. And
then I'm
exactly. So at that point now, and then platforms, societies, institutions will be granting opportunity for you because you did not give up. Now we are tired of your harassment. Tell us your story. Now, when you keep on telling that story, one thing you should be doing is you should then be raising, like, so if it is a church setting, we'll say disciples. That leads to level 4. You raise.
Here we are looking at the media setting.
Yes. So it is just like maybe mentees or every philosophy is propelled by people who resonate, fraternal. So you create more or less like a fraternal group, a fraternity, or a sense of belonging.
A community.
A community. That is the word I was looking for. Yes. So you build a fraternity or a community. Because at that time you've got into level 3, and then platforms are being given you. Tell us your story. When you are telling those stories, you then connect. You create a bypass for those who want to have further discussions, and then you create that community where you give meat and bones. So the platforms is to stimulate you. So in crafting your message, you craft it in such a way that it sucks the person in. You give, a teaser, and then now you connect the person to a community. And then many people will be following up. And then at that community base, you open up the base of your heart. That this is exactly what you are really talking about. You give the meat and then the bones of the message. By that time, now many people will start resonating with that mindset. And then level 5 is when they intend. You can then take a back seat. And then they intend at their workplaces, at their churches, at their communities, in their neighborhoods, will be telling your narrative.
Yeah, but
Yes.
in trying to work around this, as you said, as a media house, and projecting the values, that things that you want them to hear,
That's
because
right.
you want the nation to be reoriented, there will certainly be attacks, I'm saying.
Yes, most definitely.
Where do you expect us to get the support system from? Because here in Ghana, for instance, we have the state institutions
Yeah.
defined by law and how they are supposed to act,
Yes.
But people will use the same state institution to abuse the same fourth estate of the realm. If I want to cite an example, there are many.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that energy to stand. So when the attacks are coming, where do we draw our support system from?
Yeah. So that's what you rightly said. It is quite unfortunate that we have such a system where the state machinery that should actually be granting full autonomy and then protection for the various media systems rather uses that same machinery to clamp some of them out, and especially when you come out and then all that. But the support system then comes much more from the citizenry. That should become one of the primary goals of the media, or of that particular media house. And one way to eat into the heart of the citizenry, because mind you, in every system, especially in the democratic system, it is more with the people. It is the people first, even before the leadership. Second, if you can get the people to rally behind what you are pushing, even if the state machinery chooses to do something, because they are riding on politics, and politics rides on numbers. In fact, they become afraid of anybody or any, organization or media house that is able to command the people. So the attack is going to be fruitless because they are thinking of maintaining power, and then they want to be in the good books of the masses. And some way, somehow, the masses have thrown towards this line. They become very careful. So, apart from just
But how do
pushing
you
the
survive the
information,
initial attacks?
yes,
Before you finally win their support.
yes,
The citizenry, before you win their support, you have to go through certain processes. And I'm saying that when you first receive the initial attacks, what do you do? How
so
do you
the attack you're talking of from the state machinery, or from the
no, from the state machinery.
Yes. So when you receive those attacks,
Because anytime you want to empower people, there's that kind of blind. Like you said, when people are blind, there are people that benefit from the system.
Exactly.
And so the moment you want to bring light to the people,
the
people who have been profiting from the blind people will begin to fight you.
Oh, yes.
And I'm saying that when it happens that way, where do you get your support from? Because you must get that stability before you can move on.
Yes. And then you see, if you want to come forth, you should be able to factor all these things in play. So before, as you are coming forth, you should be able to factor that, okay, there could be, or there would definitely be some of these attacks. Yes, so before maybe, exactly, there should be a backup plan. So, of course, money speaks. There should be a financial or an economic backup plan. There should be a community-based backup plan. And then it does not take much to win the hearts of the people, especially in our context. If our focus just becomes, it's just like when you come to me and then I'm hungry. If I'm hungry and then now you're talking to me about nation building, no matter how excellent the content, say, massa. At that time, my immediate need is what? is for food. Now, when you give me the food, I'm satisfied. Now what's it saying? Now, I seem to be accommodating the narrative. Now, when you take a media house, okay, we want to promote maybe sound values for nation building and then all that. Yes. Now, the audience that are going to imbibe these things, they are in a particular state. Some are maybe open to it, but you should expect that they will be in the minority. By and large, the masses are in a particular state. So before even we launch out, we should be able to do a bit of meta-analysis to find out that, okay, the audience that we are appealing to have this particular challenge. And then what can we do as a media house to reduce the intensity so that it becomes a give and take affair? I want to give you right information. I want to give you values and then all that. But your state seem to impair your reception of the values. And then you have a need. What can I do as a media house to, if not solve it in its totality, to reduce the intensity of that pain, so that in that process you are able to win the heart of the person, and now that which you want to bring along. So let's say if I'm targeting someone in the street, you meet a street child, and then your conversation is around nation building and then all that. I mean, he does not care.
Okay, but in a country where the media is accepted as the fourth estate of the realm, and yet even a broadcasting law is not available. And so we have been operating all this while and nobody is taking charge. How would you operate effectively if you want us to carry the agenda of national development building?
Yeah, we must start somewhere. We must agree that there are limitations, huge limitations. Even on the constitutional level, there are limitations. I think I addressed that much more in volume 9, as the role of politics. There are limitations. But one thing we have to accept is that there wouldn't be full external conditions or perfect external conditions for the manifestation or the expression of anything, not even America the Great.
Okay.
So
you have to go for it.
Yes, we when we have that psyche, we'll get to know that, okay, this is what we have. What can we do with the available staff that we have to initiate, so that as the change goes and then leadership is now taking a serious form and then all that, now these narratives can come in, or we need a broadcasting law that all these things can then be chipped in. At least what we have should be enough to make us start somewhere. We don't fold our arms waiting that there should be. And in fact, nowhere in the world, that is part of what nature has given us, and God in his own wisdom has also committed to us, that there wouldn't be full external conditions made perfect for the proliferation of things.
Okay, but because of time, let's go through quickly. Right. So our role as a media in trying to promote national development, one must build around national cohesion.
Yes, so the social cohesion, and then as I said, yes, and then the basic staffs to inform, educate, and then entertain.
But you are saying entertainment must take a little.
Yes, I mean 10 to 20%, especially for. So we don't just have to compare ourselves to maybe the Western world. They say maybe they can spend their time a lot on. Yes, it is all part of it. But we are a developing world or nation.
We cannot behave like that.
We cannot behave like that. So entertainment should take a particular portion, and then we then give a lot of portion to what would drive us towards that kind of change. And then another aspect is that when you take the media, as I said, to inform, to educate, and then to also entertain.
Now, advocacy is also part of it.
Advocacy, as well. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, running advocacies, and then advocacy then ties into shaping public opinion. So that is where, so in advocacy, onto what end is the advocacy? It shouldn't be populism. You see, there are two sides, and for Ghana, I think majority.
What sells in the populism?
Yes. So populism, sensationalism, and that is where I mean, majority of our media or our journalism is focused. It's focused
that's where it sells.
Yes,
that's
in populism and then all that. Yes, it should rather be.
No, that's the basic truth.
That's the basic fact. Yes, that's the basic fact that is what sells. In every situation, there are two options. You either accept things as they are, or you take responsibility to change. Okay, this is what sells. Okay, so let us give them what they want, and then the nation will never, pick up. This is what sells. Okay, we can give a little bit of what's in code, of what sells, or what they want to hear, a little bit, and then we'll be titrating it. And then now we then come into with what they ought to.
That's the agenda setting.
The agenda setting. And so the media must be on the spree of agenda setting, but this case on a patriotic, nationalistic agenda setting, not partisan agenda setting. Unfortunately, a good number of our media houses and sometimes personnel are just, pawns in the hands of our political parties. So, they have literally in quote bought them, and then they run that kind of agenda. We need objective analysis of things. So in setting agenda, what is our goal? It is to have our nation becoming a great nation. Okay, if that is the goal, then let us set the agenda.
In writing your book, did you also consider the actors in the media fraternity, their welfare as well? Because if somebody is not well taken care of, if that person is broke, and you are telling me that he has information, you should go and speak the truth. That's a matter. Were you able to address that? I want to find out from you, because
yes,
otherwise you have to do a review on that.
No. I think one of the chapters is, how to maximize the role of the media in, I think, chapter 9 or so. That is maximizing the role of the media for national transformation. Yeah. So in that case, I spoke on the policies, the practice, and then the personnel. So the personnel, in this case, the media people, though I did not dwell so much in terms of maybe the remuneration and then all that, but in terms of, it was a bit of a generic discourse that the personnel,
their welfare. You need to expand it. Because don't forget. Don't forget.
I hear.
Last time when University of Ghana School of Communication brought out a research on the state of the media in Ghana, if you had that report, it would have helped you. You will have read from that book that, look, people are in the media fraternity who are really struggling. And how can a career of good message or good news be poor?
Yeah. I think for that, it is not a media specific problem.
No, but because our focus is on the media, that's what we are getting, because we are breaking it. We've been dealing how media will factor into national development.
Exactly.
And so if we have a contribution, as for our roles, they are coming in. But when the actors
for that one
are
is
not
true.
okay,
very, very true.
That's the point. If somebody is angry and you give the money, that person money to go and give to somebody else. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to sweep another carpet, but please work on that too, so that to keep the balance. And the more reason why a lot of you can criticize and say, "Oh, journalists in Ghana or the media houses are biased, they've taken this, people are holding it," is that when you don't have the means. For instance, this place, anybody at all somewhere else, if he has money, can just go and secure some licenses and start running.
Exactly.
You know that in some developed countries, it's not like that. There are funds, pool of funds somewhere else. You go through the applications, you can get it. So for that one, anybody who is serious and has that burden to establish it can go through the process, secure the fund, and start it.
Exactly.
Here it's not like that. So it's about somebody sitting somewhere once, he's okay, he has the money. Okay, Mami Koto at time. He puts his friends there and they start displaying. The welfare of the actors must also be taken care of. Otherwise,
very, very critical.
Yes, but so now the book, you started a launching somewhere. Was it last week or last week?
Yeah, I think on the first of October.
Yeah, so all right. So it's been 11 days now.
Yes,
today 12.
11 days.
Okay,
now.
at the University of Ghana.
Yes, UGMC auditorium.
How was it like?
It was great. It was really, really great. We're privileged to have at least people like Professor Stephen Ade giving a keynote address, and then also we had COP, Church of Pentecost, our
General Secretary.
Now I'm sure I'm a Pentecost by proxy. Yeah, so our COP, yes, he's also Samuel, my father's name.
Also Samuel
Obuobi, exactly.
General Secretary for the church.
Yes, General Secretary, and then also we had the representative from Peace Council.
Okay.
That is Alhaji Osman. And then we have the regional DOSU director also. And then a number of high profile. We had about almost 4 SRC representatives or presidents, executives also around. And then so it was, by and large, it was great.
When is it next launch?
Yes, the next one is going to be in Kumasi on the 15th of October. That is this coming Sunday, exactly 1:30 p.m. as well. We'll be having it at on top of Pogas Furniture at the Bomso Junction.
Okay.
Yes, just on top of it.
Okay.
We'll be having, that's the Fountain Gate Chapel Church. That is the Jubilee Pastures. That's where, yeah. So 1:30 p.m. prompt. That's where we'll be having the Kumasi edition. And all these are actually precursors. That's why we've dubbed it the Awake Ghana Conference.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are cooking something great towards what we have called the Awake Ghana Tour, which will very soon be initiating to tour the 16 regions of Ghana to take the conversation of nation building closer to the people.
Closer to the people.
So all these are precursors, and then.
All right. So what are some of the books that you, by the grace of God, were able to launch the last time? I've sent this one, The Role of the Media, the Mobilizing for Holistic National Transformation. This is volume 8, isn't it?
Yes.
The Role of the Media, the Power Force of the Fourth Estate.
Yes.
I've seen a lot. I've seen this one, volume 3, School of Values, Rebuilding the Ethical Foundation of Ghana and Africa. And I also can see this one, volume 5.
Volume 5, yes.
The Role of the Church as a Cornerstone of Civilization.
Yes.
A lot of these books. So if I want a copy, where?
Okay, we'll officially publish it after the Kumasi launch.
Okay.
The prizes, the copies, and then so after the Kumasi launch, we'll publish. So if you want the whole set, so it is actually 12 volumes. 12. Yeah, 12 volumes. Wow. So volume 1, I think what we have here is volume 5. This is volume 5. Okay, this is volume 5.
Volume 8.
Volume 8.
Volume 3.
Yes, so we have volume 1 through to volume 12. Volume 12 is the role of the youth in nation building. And then, so politics, economy, it touches on literally the main institution that we have around. Yeah, so after the Kumasi launch, then now we officially then present the prizes if you want it as a collection or a particular, and each volume stands on its own. So each volume, you can read each volume on its own and then get.
You don't have to have all the copies.
Yes. So having all, then
it's advantage.
Yes, it puts you on another level, and definitely you will not read and remain the same. It is challenging to your thoughts and then all that. And then so officially make those publications after the Kumasi launch.
Beautiful. So in the meantime, these are the books. We have volume 1 up to 12.
Volume 12.
And so after Kumasi, then we can talk more.
Yes,
I'm sure we'll re-engage after that time.
Most definitely.
And try and push it forward. So, viewers, Dr. Joshua OPPONG-SARFO, you want to say hi to some people before we say bye-bye?
Yeah,
to viewers.
Definitely. First on the list will be my lovely wife, Winnie, and then my children. That is Samuel, Ethan, and then Theophilia. And then also, I know my parents are also watching. That is Very Reverend Samuel Pon, and then Auntie Connie. God richly bless you. And then finally, to my team, GK and Gatekeepers Kingdom Network, as well as the New African Concept. God richly bless you. And then to every single individual. As we always say, we have a world to shake. We have our continent, Africa, to liberate. We have Ghana, our nation, to save. And definitely we have the church also to reform. It is most possible together. And let us join in this heat and then conversation and then change the narrative.
We need to build Ghana for a better cause. This is our country, and so we need to work on it. Thank you so much, Dr. Joshua OPPONG-SARFO. Grateful.
Thank you very much.
As always. So the name is JB Dangwa. We'll see you tomorrow.